Everybody, and welcome back. It's going to be myself, Zabi, on your commentary mics to take you through for this British Grand Prix here at Silverstone for Formula X. Let's get started. It's going to be 26 laps of some great racing in the rain by these great drivers. Let's get started. It's time for the 5 red lights to go now. Says it's going to be 5 red lights, and we go racing. They weren't held for long at all, only for a millisecond or something. As we get started, it's going to be Robin up ahead of everyone in the turn when he's going to be going very clear ahead of everyone. As you see drivers gaining up position, some of them losing out. It's going to be Glock and Josh up there side by side. There's going to be will-to-will action between the two. Josh is going to be around the outside in the Aston Martin. He's going to try and clear him out as soon as he can though, but Glock's got a good chance. Glock's got a very good start up there as he sees himself in a P4. With F1 Mad Lee and all of these drivers following up. With Daniel already into P8. What a start by the Ferrari star driver as he goes down the inside line there. Place losing out against Elfie. It's going to be Dan Richards and JC side by side. They're going to be wheel-to-wheel racing. It's going to be one another. Up there, and JDM goes down the inside line of the Kicksauber as he makes up that place again and gets himself into 13th place. With Lee currently in 8th place, Alfie in 9th. And there goes Richards now getting up another position. It's going to be a fight up between McPeedy and JDM. Getting up each other as Dan Richards currently holds up ahead of both of them in 11th place. As now JDM trying his 100% best to defend. He went round the outside as he spun around a little bit. At a little moment there. A bit of slide for JDM there as he's going to be now on the inside line. They might end up touching the wheels. This was very close there between Richards and Duke up there. Sorry, not Duke, it's JDM who's just a little late on the brakes. A brave in these wet conditions sees himself gain up that position. As there we go, we see Glock and Josh currently fighting each other off there side by side as we were looking at the back of the field fighting up there. Meanwhile, F1 Man and Daniel fighting up each other as well. Right on the outside goes Daniel. It takes him second place. Not second, but that was 6th place, but he's lost out on it again. As currently Josh and Glock fighting each other off as well. It's going to be Josh now round the outside of Glock. Will Glock be going down the inside line? He in fact will be going late on the brakes, but does he go wide? He does not. He seems to be defending there as F1 Man hits Josh up there on the back. As the Red Bull makes contact with the Aston Martin, hitting and going into the back of him, might damage his own front wing up there. Having a chance, we're on lap 6 out of 26 now, so it is 26 laps. It's not more than that, but all of them together and close to each other as it's going to be Glock and Josh side by side once again. Will Josh go down the inside line? He'll try and go. That's going to become the outside line now. It's almost 3 wide up there as the Red Bull and the Aston Martin do it as they touch each other. Will Josh go for that switch on from outside to the inside? There's going to be one more chance now as Glock goes very wide. Glock goes to defend on that inside line already. Down the inside line goes Josh. Down the inside line as he goes. They make contact as Glock just finds enough grip and traction to get ahead of him. As on the inside line is Josh. As Josh is going to almost spin out as they both make contact. They were side by side and still almost made contact at Josh. And they did in fact make contact, Josh and Glock. And almost end up getting wide there. And goes wide there does Josh. He's going to almost lose out on the position. Glock is going to be on his way to pull up a little if there's a chance, if F1 Mad ends up attacking Josh and slows him down, waiting for a mistake, waiting for an opportunity to get through it, any of these drivers. And look at that, how dry the racing line is. It's down the inside line now. Josh is going to go for it as Glock is going to try and find some grip around the outside. He's just going to end up finding up that grip and traction to get out of that corner quite quicker than did Josh. And look at that. Now it's going to be Daniel and F1 Man fighting each other off. For a long time, they're watching action ahead of these for themselves. They now try and fight each other off and try and get ahead of one another. As goes on the curb does Daniel and makes a little mistake up there. And that's going to see him slow down. Meanwhile, Josh is caught in ahead as Josh is overtaking Glock up there. As finally the move that was laps coming has been overtaken. But Glock's going to be coming back at him as into cops they go. They're still side by side as JB now getting closer and in pressure from these drivers as Josh now back in the fifth place. and loses out against Glock. Glock just ends up finding that grip and confidence in his car to go through. Now Daniel gets ahead of Josh as well. Is it going to be now with a great opportunity to go down the inside line and get ahead of Josh up there? Sorry, to get ahead of Glock there. Big opportunity with Glock now going through once again. He goes through with an opportunity as Josh now ends up pitting to try and pit up for a new set of winter tyres to go to the end of the race. As they're going to go into turn 1. They're going to be wheel to wheel. They're still going to be side by side, the two of them. As it's going to be 3 wide, down the inside line went F1 Mad there. There's going to be contacts made as F1 Mad and that Red Bull's going to be through on the 2. What a dive bomb he made it 3 wide, and he's into 4th place now. And Daniel on his way to lose out on the position if he's able to, if he's not able to keep Glock right behind himself, as now F1 Mad is on his way to try and attack JB in that Ferrari, as the safety car's now in, and we go racing once again here at Silverstone as the restarts quite stunning for the leader as he's kept onto it. It's 2 Ferraris, and there goes Josh on the inside line as Daniel is into top 3 now, but he's going to be on the attack from Josh up there. Will Josh be able to attack him? Will Josh be able to get through? Josh has struggled overall, but all of them on new into tyres now. Josh is in the pits now. And there we go, Josh in that car number 73. Pits on for a set of medium tyres as well. And the crossover period has started. And the driver who's currently in the lead is Glock, and he did not pit for any of the compound tyres, not for the soft and not for the slicks or for the intermediate tyres, to have the best opportunity and the best chance of winning the race and keeping the lead to himself to retire out. And still Glock running on those intermediate tyres as down the inside line goes Daniel, but around the outside it's going to be Daniel and Glock coming back at him, but this time around it's not going to be enough as Glock still stays out, and it's going to be Daniel now leading the British Grand Prix. A new race leader formed up on lap 16, which is going to be 17 as they just go across that line now. Crazy racing's going on as many drivers think that it is their chance. As down the inside line is going to be JDM as he goes down the inside of Glock as he's going to try and attack Glock. And definitely now Glock, having done over 16 lap on these inter tires, it's showing up. It's showing up that he's losing out grip. He's losing out the control over his car that he needs or that he had since the beginning of this race, which he was challenging very, very fast drivers at the beginning of it. And now it's his chance to get it going. And only time will tell as there we go. Glock gets back and gets ahead of JDM one more time. It's as the safety car heads into the pits for the final time in this race so far. It's going to be F1 Mad ahead of everyone. He's got penalties, but he's going to try and pull away as much as he can though, to have a best opportunity, to have a best chance of winning a race, to have the best chance of taking the lead of the race so far, as it's going to be Daniel up in second place and everybody up there now. In a turn 1 they're going to go everybody on those slick tires, and it's now going to be Daniel and Dan's time to make a use of these soft compound tires as Daniel goes already on the outside line, and that's going to become the inside line. They're still going to be side by side action. They're both going to be wheel to wheel with Dan Richards right behind as well, as F1 Mad going to lose out on that straight away, with Daniel taking up that position, but down the inside line goes Mad as they're going to make contact. Both of them are going to make contact, and there's going to be times up as Richard is going to get closer as well. But will he be able to get ahead of Mad? Yes, he will be, as F1 Mad in that Red Bull went really wide. That is only allowed for the Red Bull to, for the McLaren to get closer. With Glock currently running in 4th place and Elfie in 5th, but both of them have no time penalty, so their chances of finishing on the podium could well be real, as Daniel now holds on for his second win as Dan makes a mistake. He runs very wide. Opportunity of a podium runs away. This is absolutely crazy, as Glock now on his way to try and attack that Red Bull, as he's going to try and attack it up now. as Glock's now trying to get ahead of him as he's when the late on the brakes one. Sure, the Red Bull's going to try and come back at him as they almost make contact up there. That was very close up there and very close for comfort as Daniel now gets another fastest lap. And there's another yellow flag and it's going to be Dan Richards, the man into the wall. It's the ending moments of a race, as in it's going to be now yellow flags and disqualified from the session. It is going to be Dan Richards. He hit the wall. He's now disqualified with the virtual safety car coming out as it goes green once again, as Daniel's currently 7/10 ahead of Glock up there, but the DRS now is enabled for the first time in this race so far, as the sun is now almost out up there. An opportunity arises. He's going to get ahead. Meanwhile, McPeedy and JDM almost end up making contact with each other, and they will make contact with McPeedy into the wall. To our race leader, the Le man who's done a very good job in the final in the last two stints of this race. The man who's kind of dominated this dry tyres time. It's only been a few laps under the green flag racing, but sure, he's done his best. He's made sure that he's going to do the best for his team and for Ferrari. And it is going to be Daniel, the man who got out in qualifying very early on. The man who was knocked out in qualifying, starting P13. But he did not look back at all. And he's only got the final corner to go now, as he's going to come across that final finish line and come home to win here at Silverstone. And he wins the British Grand Prix with Glock in second place, with Tolu in third, F1 Mad and Robin in fifth, with Josh now in sixth, as well as drivers now finishing up with JDM getting that seventh place, as Minipex in the eighth place, and Lee in ninth, with Big Boozums getting that one last point, but Elfie gets it towards the end, as Boozums has to finish out in 11th place with JB. He ran a very good race as well.